Hey guys, it's Ghosdee. Welcome back to my channel. And welcome if you're new. It has been a while. There's no easy way to say this. There was a tragedy in my family. My brother passed away unexpectedly right before the holidays. So that's why I haven't been able to make any content. I had to take some time away from myself. I had to take some time to be with family. After taking a couple months off, I'm back. There's no better time to come back because coincidentally, this is the anniversary of Ghosdee. I started making YouTube videos 5 years ago. My setup has changed so many times. I've just gone through so many different phases and aesthetics and looks trying to find the right Ghosdee thing, and honestly I'm still trying to find it, and this year I'm really committed to working through it and staying consistent. With that being said, in honor of the relaunch and our 5-year Ghosdee anniversary, I decided that I should go ahead and hop on the audio train. So now alongside my videos, I will be uploading audio files on streaming sites so you can listen to Ghosdee episodes like other podcasts. It's taken me so long to get here. Video has always been my media. Hopefully our community will grow even bigger. So to stick to the relaunch theme, I decided that this week's episode would be all about requels. Not a remake, not a prequel, not a sequel, a requel. As defined by the internet, a requel is a movie which revisits the subject matter of an earlier film but is not a remake or a linear continuation of its plot. These movies have been popping up all over Hollywood in recent years. Personally, I feel like requels are a great way to revive franchises without making shitty sequels and modern remakes that just don't really hit. Although I'll be ranking them, I'm not gonna say that any of these movies are bad, but there are some that are just better than others. So without further ado, here's my rankings of the latest horror requel. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, created by David Blue Garcia and Chris Thomas Devlin. In this movie, a group of influencers are planning a party to revitalize a vacant town in Texas. Unfortunately, this also happens to be the home of Leatherface, you know, the guy with the chainsaw who wears human skin face mask? Yeah, that guy. And of course, he eventually shows up to this party with his chainsaw and his face mask. Right out of the gate, this has a spectacular first kill, and I have to give it credit for it. We sit in that scene for quite some fucking time, which kind of exceeded my expectations, and that shows me that there's some effort here. But generally, this movie is just not really it. These characters suck. The legacy character, Sally, so horrendously forced. So forced. It's like they watched Halloween 2018 and they were like, okay, I'm just gonna do that, because they couldn't think of anything and they wanted this movie to be a part of the requel talk. It does genuinely try to be serious, which is kind of funny because I feel like all of it just comes off in a goofy way, like it's easy to make fun of it, which is so sad because it's dark. It's really dark. Our main character is a survivor of a school shooting. That's some dark shit. But she drives away in a fucking Tesla? I don't know why that just took me out. I was just like, what the fuck? I mean, like, I get it, but also, yeah. Anyway, not an awful movie, still entertaining, but as far as like the group of requels we've been getting, it's just not there. The Exorcist Believer, created by David Gordon Green, Scott Teems, and David McBride. When best friends Angela and Catherine return after going missing in the woods for a few days, they come back showing signs of demonic possession. David Gordon Green, this is our dude. He's been on Halloween. He is back for another requel. He's putting his hands on it. It's The Exorcist. I have to be honest, this trailer got me, and I rewatched it in order to prep for this video, and I was still like, damn, that's a fucking good trailer. So the hands, whoever worked on that trailer, the Lord's fucking work there. You were doing all of the work that they were doing in that movie. You were also doing on the trailer. This is another requel where I felt like the legacy characters was a waste, not needed, just thrown in there to be a part of the requel conversation, which is so unfortunate because this movie is actually quite strong on its own. It has quite a few genuine scares, and I would say largely those scares were brought to screen well due to the child actresses. I also had huge respect that there was a plot point in this film in 2024 where people of different practices and beliefs and cultural backgrounds were to come together and make things better. There's plenty of movies about people of like, you know, different races and like different class status and blah 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 blah. But religion, I don't think I've seen it on film. I like all the beliefs, I see the truth in all of it. So I like seeing these things come together on screen. Also was listening for like accuracy, especially on the hoodoo voodoo witchcraft that was on screen. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Good on that. I feel like they did a great job. Like I said, the legacy character just being thrown in there really brings this film down. It's so unfortunate. Maybe it's a bit long. It's a bit long. Can't remember the ending too much. I do think the switcheroo there was pretty cool. Spoiler alert. I think I was just sad that like one of the girls actually had to get sacrificed. I would not have wanted that. I feel like their parents were being stupid and kids should not have to be, you know, at risk because of parents being fucking ignorant. Like that was fucking shitty. But hard truth, Jigsaw, created by Michael and Peter Spirit. In this movie, a team of cops and forensic scientists, I think that's who they are, suspect that Jigsaw killings have started again with discovering bodies and evidence and clues that links them to Jigsaw. Is he back? Is Hoffman alive? Guys, I have to be honest, Jigsaw is only higher than Texas Chainsaw and The Exorcist Believer because of my bias against Saw, because Jigsaw's rough, bro. It's constantly fighting for the last spot as my least favorite Saw film with Spiral. It's just the two of them like in rotation, like a joint. They were just like, all right, to the left, to the left. It was hard to find positive things to say about this movie for the sake of this video, because I don't always want to fucking brag on movies, but fuck, I just think this movie's kind of boring. Tobin Bell saved this movie. His performance, everything, just everything. Even though the plot twist that they incorporated was kind of old school, it was kind of played out, predictable, I still kind of fuck with it. And we had an extra plot twist, which I did not see that coming, where our final girl is low-key a bad person, which, duh, Jigsaw only fucks with bad people. Throughout the whole movie, we're sitting there like, what did she do? Why are you doing this thing for a mistake? It's not a mistake at all. It does do its best with adding to the franchise as a whole because it adds another accomplice to the puzzle piece. I don't know how Saw fans feel about this guy. I don't remember his name, but he's the doctor who misdiagnosed John in the first place. I know personally I'm not a fan of this guy, but it was cool to find out he was an accomplice, because that's a thing in the Saw movies. Every Saw movie, it's like, oh my god, this person's an accomplice. Wow, who would have thought? But also, of course, because John being a fucking cancer patient, doing all this shit by himself, like he probably had a whole fucking crew of them that we don't even know. At least I hope so, and I hope that they keep making Saw movies and doing that. Scream 5. Created by Radio Silence. Semi-recent duo, really killing it in the horror game. Clearly passionate horror creators, and they feed the other passionate horror consumers like myself. 25 years after Sydney and the gang stop the Ghostface killings, a new Ghostface killer arises in Woodsboro, targeting another group of teens and bringing even more of the town's secrets to the surface. Scream 5 is great. It had to grow on me. I didn't really see its charm. Now that I actually understand requels more as a whole, I understand Scream 5 more, so it's better. That's how that works. Now, I do still think Scream 6 is better, but I at least don't dislike Scream 5, because I kind of dislike Scream 5 for a bit. Truthfully, what I dislike the most about this film are the killers. I think about the film and I'm like, this film is great. Why do I hate this film? And then I remember the ending. And although I understand, like, as far as like modern culture, consumer culture, internet culture, fan culture, all of it, I get what it was doing. It just like wasn't it for me as far as a Ghostface killer. I even think Sydney's half-brother that like was written into the script is a better Ghostface killer than that. Still, it does the whole requel thing to a T. It does it. And I feel like although there were requels happening before this point, I would say like Halloween 28 kind of like threw them on the modern scene. But even before then they were kind of happening, but it was Halloween 2018, but then Scream 5 is like, all right, we are in the era of requels. It's like a Scream movie appears and it tells us like what is happening in the horror films, and I love that it does that. I don't know how they managed to be so tight, and there's so much space. This franchise has been going on for about as long as I'm alive. I was born in 95, this movie started in 96, I'm 28, so like 27 years of these movies like really killing it. I think the best thing about Scream 5 though is that it sets up the new generation so well, and Scream 6 was a knocker. Too bad about Scream 7, don't really know what's happening there. Very strange to watch the Scream franchise rise and fall in the span of a few years. Like that's crazy. And also this has happened like twice in the Scream franchise. But I mean, who knows what can happen in like 5 to 10 years. A franchise can always be revived. Things change, things evolve. Horror is always going to exist, so who knows. Halloween, created by David Gordon Green, Danny McBride. 40 years after surviving one horrifying Halloween night in 1978, Laurie Strode in the town of Haddonfield is once again terrorized by psycho mass killer Michael Myers after he escapes being locked up. Yet again, our man is out in the street and he's looking for Laurie. At least that's what we think in this movie. Halloween 18 was beautiful, visually fresh. I think this current Halloween franchise really benefits from having John Carpenter back on the score, because that's just what's really driving the movies. I feel like, personally for me, out of all of these films, this is 100% the best use of the legacy character. And honestly, I would say like this is probably the first movie to really like, all right, we're bringing back this character and we're gonna expand on her. Laurie's line has been chopped up, screwed, and maybe that's why like it worked. We learned so much about how she was affected, and we learned that she has a family and her family is affected, and they're also badasses and they get to come together and do this thing together, and like she has a fucking bunker. Laurie has a fucking bunker, a fucking trap house. She has a trap house. That's what the fuck that is. A fucking whole ass trap house. At our number 1 spot, we have Candyman, created by Nia DaCosta, Jordan Peele, and Wynn Rosenfeld. This movie follows the story of artist-painter Anthony as he creates an art collection inspired by the supernatural legend Candyman. As history unfolds and the project grows, Anthony's life, past, and relationship starts to unravel in a sinister spiral. I have so many great things to say about this movie, honestly, because Candyman is great. Nia DaCosta, that bitch knows what the fuck she's doing, and she knows her horror. She knows her camera work. Visually, Candyman 2021 is like one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen, especially when it comes to the themes. There's so many like mirror shots, reverse shots, and I have to credit Nia DaCosta to making this film feel like it actually still lives in the world of the original Candyman. Although the script is doing a lot. It's doing a lot. It's doing this, it's doing that. It's bringing him, it's bringing her. It's going all over the place, but I still feel like I don't know, I get a sense like the essence of the film feels like it still feels like the original film. Shout out to the performances all around. Really great. Really great. We have our legacy character in here, revealed in the trailer. Didn't really like that part. She's a bit of a throwaway too, but she does deliver this key plot point, which I found interesting. It's a reveal, it's a plot twist, and it's that Anthony, the main character, is the baby from the original film. That is like a direct tie to the original film. Wasn't really expecting that coming into this. I thought that this movie would really be kind of its own thing. I always wondered, like, I mean, and truthfully, like when I was a kid and watched Candyman, I'm like, what the fuck happened to the baby? And now we know. Candyman 2021 is doing a lot of things. It's talking about police brutality. It's referencing the old film. It's separating stuff from the old film. It's doing that by bringing into plot and themes the struggle of being an artist, specifically a Black artist. We get it from 2 perspectives. We get it from Brianna, who is Anthony's partner. We get it from her perspective, and we also get it from his perspective. Because it is different. It's different per gender. It's gonna be different. And that's all I have for this list. Thanks for watching this video and listening. To keep up with me, I am on social media. You can follow me on Twitter at Ghosdee, Instagram at Ghosdee_, and Letterboxd at Ghosdee, where I write some reviews. So I will catch up with you guys in the next episode.